The Fed says that the banks can pass a stress test. I call bullshit. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, June the 26th. And what's going on? Well, what a week in the markets. We'll get to that in our market update, but crazy, man. It's crazy out there, man. But for the Fed to call and say that every single bank would pass a stress test is all bullshit. It is so ridiculous. Whereas we will find that out when they do dive, and they will. And they come to the middle class for money, for taxes, to bail out the criminals known as the banking system, okay, and the over leverage that they create, knowing that, and why not? If you knew that you could be in a business, okay, that you had no risk, you could only make a fortune, and if you screwed up, you got the Fed to come and bail you out. What's wrong with that? Okay. In the meantime, the banks are making a lot of money right now. I mean, you've got rates running amok. You got mortgage rates over 6%. Which means the housing markets have slowed down. You're now we're going to potentially go from massive inflation to a deflationary scenario in some places, which is really scary. I mean, this could be the worst of all worlds. All right. And of course, we could solve it, but why bother when we have, President Biden talking about gas tax holidays, right? That's gonna do a lot of good. And I will make this wager with anybody that this gas tax holiday will cost you more money and push gas prices up even higher. God forbid we should just go back and pump our own. Let's not do that, because why should we not torture the middle class, okay, and put small business out of business, okay? Let's worry about the environment more than we worry about the people that are trying to live in it, okay? Now, again, I'm not saying, you know my opinion, I'm not a believer, but even if you are, and if you're correct, do you bust out an entire society trying to get there, okay? So we can look for the gas tax holiday, okay, and of course, the more free money and rebates on gas. Now, again, where's the money going to come from? Okay, think about it, and before you get angry and realize that you're the one it's coming from. Okay, so it's not a holiday. It's another way to tax you so that they look like they're doing a good job, which we know that they're not. Okay. I mean, look, again, I'm not saying that any politician does a good job. As you know, I am not a fan of either party and the damage that they do. Okay. But I'm certainly not a fan of destructing and breaking down America for climate control or climate change, which may or may not be real. But again, it doesn't really matter now. If you bust out everybody, what does it mean? And now you're starting to see the layoffs, okay? Some companies can't get help, and now the companies that have help are starting to lay off. Netflix didn't lay off 300 people. Now, again, you may say, oh, no big deal, but again, this is only the first. This is as they say, this is the first shoe to drop, okay? A difficult transition, they're calling it. Now, again, there are probably 300 well-paying jobs that are going to, again, bring problems into, okay, what is going on. All right. And again, these are not good situations. Okay. And, the overall, the Powell pledges to beat inflation, even if it caused recession and jobs losses. I guess the real question is, what are we in right now? Okay. I think we are in a recession now. How is your life? The way you gauge a recession is not like the imbecile economist that'll tell you later that we had a recession. How's your life? How's your spending, and how's your earning power? Okay. Have you had to make any adjustments because of the high cost of gasoline or the high cost of food? is there adjustments that you've had to make? Because that's how you judge a recession, not by some stupid ass formula that was contrived 109 years ago by a couple of morons that wanted to screw the American system. Okay? Rothschilds, JP Morgan, Rockefellers, the whole group at Jekyll Island as they planned exactly what we're seeing happening today. Okay? So you can look at it any way you want. Okay? And again, you got to ask yourself at what cost do we want to do this? If had the Fed done their job and Ben Bernanke would have been a wuss and backed down in 2013, we probably wouldn't have these problems today. If the administration would quit doling out free cash, we probably wouldn't have these problems. But again, the money's got to come from somewhere. You know, this is not the magic money. It doesn't magically grow on a tree, okay, unless you're using paper, and that part grows, but the backing does not grow. Okay? So you're going to continue to print more money, which means that you're going to continue to pay more taxes. More is coming from your paycheck. Okay, you're the one, I'm the one that are going to be fortunate enough to pay for this. Now we got the next big problem. All right, they gave people a rent holiday, which I still don't understand. A rent holiday because there are business owners that own those buildings. They have to get paid rent. They have expenses. Are they supposed to not get paid? In the meantime, now those rents are coming due, and there's going to be evictions galore. All right, and you know, where's that money going to come from? You know, you see, remember, you notice the vicious cycle that we have to live in. Okay, we don't produce anything. Government certainly produces nothing but debt, okay, and problems. But in the end of the day, we produce nothing but debt. Okay, our manufacturing is down again. Now, again, you may say, well, no big deal. We got China. Well, who wants China? Who wants Saudi Arabia? Who wants the foreign enemies in control of our destiny? Now, think about it. If a war does break out, where's our oil coming from? How fast do you think we can gear it back up to get it out of the ground? Okay. Who's controlling our drugs? You would think that the United States of America could afford to manufacture at least our drugs in the United States. You want to have your enemy in charge of drugs? I don't know. I mean, it doesn't make me comfortable. To the group that sent over COVID on purpose, in my opinion, I certainly don't want them handling my prescription medicine, right? But you know, again, money is a dangerous thing, okay? And you know, obviously, we all know about the Supreme Court ruling. I'm not getting into it, okay? It's way too much of a hot button to talk about in a short segment here, but it does exercise and show that we are seeing historic lows in the belief in what the Supreme Court is. And again, this is kind of like the rest of government in general. I mean, I don't know how many people really trust the government at all. Again, it's not just Biden. Again, listen, we know he's an imbecile. He always was. This hasn't changed. We know what they're doing now. But again, I'm not going to, pound on President Biden as much as I can't stand him and what he's doing and what he stands for. You got to go back in history and look at most of them. I mean, everybody created more debt. Everybody created more problems. All that's happening now is the numbers are getting bigger. But you can see why people have a lack of respect for government in general. Okay. And certainly now, again, I don't know what side you sit on. And again, it's too much of a political hotbed to discuss in a short segment, but we all know what the announcement was. Okay. And that you do see, the rulings, and that also ties into now, of course, our fearless leader, President Biden, signing in new gun regulations into law. Now, look, I am a gun owner now. I would never, in 60 years, I never thought of owning a gun. 65 years, I never thought of owning a gun. But because of what's going on in this country, I felt compelled to learn, to get licensed, and to have one so that if I needed it, I could defend myself and my property. But you can put all the frickin' laws you want in place, okay? You can go law after law after law, and put them in place. And you know what? The criminals are still getting the guns. You're tormenting law-abiding citizens. You look at the city of Chicago, has the toughest gun laws in the country, maybe in the world. And where's the crime come from? Oh, it comes from Chicago. The criminals get what they want. Don't you understand, President Biden and all of you assholes that are in office, that the crooks get everything? Okay, the crooks are ahead of you. And that's why you hire some crooks to help you in certain areas. They're going to be ahead of you. So what do you think these legislations are going to do? They're not going to stop crime. In fact, I could argue that they would help crime increase because they would take the arms out of some people. You know, crazy people that are going to use guns for whatever reason. If they want them, they're going to get them. You can buy them anywhere. You can go almost on any street corner and buy them. So let's not get into this ridiculous Second Amendment debate. You have the right to bear arms. You don't want to, you have that choice. You have the freedom. Okay. And that's, of course, that we continue to see destructed in this country is our freedom. Okay. From everything that is done, it's just another chip away from our freedom. As you know, I vape. I've had this bitch before here, but now Juul just got basically shut down. Okay. And it's illegal to ship vaping products, or maybe even to have them now in the States. I'm not sure the exact way it's worded. But why should an American of age not be able to use a vaping product if they choose to? You can smoke tobacco. You can go buy alcohol. Okay, you can go buy pot just about in any state now. Why should I not be able to buy a vaping product? And I can't. I can't ship it to Illinois. Okay, why? Where is, this is what I want to know, is why do we continue to ban things that are perfectly legal? Okay, if somebody wants to smoke cigarettes, look, there's so many places you can't smoke them, but if you want to smoke, what do I care if you smoke? I mean, I smoked for 40 years. I don't care if somebody smokes. I mean, I don't particularly care for it. It doesn't smell so good, but what do I care? I don't have to sit there, and I don't have to go to a place that allows smoking. But shouldn't I have the right to smoke? I mean, again, I think that we see a continued problem. Okay. And we look at everything that's happening here. Where does it end? Where do we end up leading to with the direction that we're being dragged into? Okay. The tax the rich, which is ridiculous because all we've seen for the 18 months that the President Biden in is the destruction of the middle class benefiting the rich. You've got that jackass Mark Zuckerberg now asking and talking about universal basic income. And of course they want to get universal basic income because they want to eliminate and destroy any possible competition in the future. Understand, when you get in an uproar over something that is either politically based or based on an emotion, think about the ramifications. Don't just, follow the crowd in a big huff. Okay. Think about what the real damage is behind, because a lot of things sound good on the surface. And when you get underneath the surface, you find out what a piece of shit that you actually voted for or looked for. Okay. And I think that becomes a much more important issue as we look at what's going on, because we are seeing destruction of the United States of America the way that anybody who's my age knows it. And I got news for you. It's scaring the crap out of me. Okay. And I'm not happy with anything. And again, it doesn't just go to this administration. This goes back many moons. Okay. And I think that we're creating too many problems that if we continue at this pace, we'll never be able to get out of them. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, June the 26th. And of course, we're going to step out here for a break. We'll be back with our market report right after the break. Bubba's Bottom Line. Well, kids, what's up? I hope you had a nice weekend, a nice short weekend in the trading markets, the markets that went up every day. But in the meantime, obviously, we have some sponsors that help put this show together. And obviously, I'd love you to take a look at them. Again, I don't tell you whether to use them or not, but whoever I talk about, I've already vetted. I'm a customer myself. Okay. And just like my products, if I recommend a trade, I'm making that. You can bet your ass I'm making that trade. But in the meantime, Capital Trading Group, CTG, great partners. They're partners in Day Trader's Dream with us. They've got great products. They do a phenomenal job, but the biggest job is they answer the phone. You got a problem in the trading world when it comes to money. You want them to answer the phone. They answer the phone. Okay. Check them out. It's info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. That's info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. If I spoke too fast, just look at the bottom or the sides. They're scrolling along. And of course, that brings us to Trader Brokerage. And I don't know if you caught the panel discussion this week with Trader, but what a great discussion it was for the SIBO. But Trader is phenomenal. Okay. You want to talk, you go to the equity side now. Equities and options, first of all, $10 a month. How can you pass that up? Number one. Number two, they've got some great new features. Plus, you're going to have cryptocurrencies that you're going to be able to use in your account as margin as well with your stock. So it's going to be a one flow through account. I don't know, $10 a month. We can auto execute for you our products. I don't know. Anyways, check them out. Try.trader.com/Bubba. That's try.trader.com/Bubba. And of course, our high school program. Check us out. Help us out there. It's BubbaTrading.com, or it's Patreon.com/Bubba Trading. That's Patreon.com/Bubba Trading. And let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and, of course, my market report. Let's get back right now. Welcome back. We are at Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, the 26th of June. And, of course, we're coming into that dull time in the sports world, right? We had a golf tournament finishing, but overall, we're coming into we're now waiting for football after the NBA draft and all this stuff. But in the meantime, markets were haywire. They went basically straight up. And many of you may think, the trend has changed, and we're pretty short still. And the trend is not changing. Okay, I want to say that this is nothing more than a bear market rally, a rip your face off rally. It may have lasted a little bit longer than I thought it might, but it has not. It's nowhere near the changing trend. It's nowhere near even resistance yet. Okay. Obviously, if you're on the wrong side, it feels kind of painful at the moment, but I would suspect that we're going to be headed much more south or lower from here. And at some point here, I will see a level to go ahead and sell. And we should see a pretty dramatic beatdown. In fact, I would think that now, my 40 to 60% call, I think, is now probably 50 to 70% of a haircut. There's a lot of problems out there with a lot of companies, and there ain't no money, ain't no employees, there ain't no goods. There's just too many issues. In the meantime, for the week, the Dow, Russell, NASDAQ, and S&P all charged much higher. But again, much higher is a relative term into percentage basis. It wasn't that big. Okay. But they are higher, and we're still short across the board. Of course, the dollar had a moderate week. We're long dollars. But again, remember, the dollar, the euro currency, the whole fiat currency space is nothing more than a fraudulent Ponzi scheme of stealing our money. Okay, no matter which central bank you may choose to look at, okay, it's basically a way to fleece the American people in our case, but actually just fleece cash out of the world. They continue to devalue these currencies. So they're really, what are they trading against? Okay, they're trading against something else that's devalued, and of course that's why it buys so little. Okay. In the meantime, we're still long dollars. We're still short euro currency, which had a little bit of a pop, but again, it's going under par, in my opinion. I think it's going to 88 cents. Right now, it's at about $1.06. The cryptos, Bitcoin, it looks like it might have found the bottom. Now, again, it's still only down at 20, 21, 22,000 level, whatever it is. But it looks like it found the bottom. In fact, last Monday, I actually dotted it out on the chart and showed, and it's kind of holding those rounding bottom. And we're going to see, I think, some move. I'm a big believer in crypto, but again, I'm not a big enough believer to put in more than X amount, knowing that X can go to zero. Okay, so again, I'm a believer, and I think it's the right thing, but I would not put more than I could afford to lose in that product. The precious metals, it's like they're on the bridge to nowhere or the road to nowhere, whatever that was. Look, they can't seem to break one way or the other. As of this Bubba's Bottom Line, we're still long gold, which has gone nowhere. We're still short silver, which continues to get pounded. Platinum, we would be short, but if we don't trade, it's not liquid enough. But in the meantime, again, the markets know what's going on. So enough with the manipulation, enough with it's got to go higher. It'll go higher when it's ready. And right now, it's not ready. Do yourself a favor. You think it's too cheap? Go buy some physical. Quit trading that paper crap, okay, if you want to hold it. I mean, again, trading is one thing. If you're investing, go buy some real gold. We got partners for that. But go buy some hard gold, some hard assets that are hard. And not that crap that's paper, that who knows if there's enough paper in the world to cover that stuff, okay? So, again, I think platinum is the best buy on the board right now. I could be wrong, but I mean, again, to me, it's like half price, like on sale, okay? Copper got crushed. It's amazing. And it's something we thought about, right? But it's down to, it's about 370 now and looks like it's headed south. Look, inflation, no building, not much usage now. Now, it'll turn around. These commodities are not going away. Okay, there are going to be bigger moves in these commodities again. And of course, bonds and the notes, interest rates are going up. Bonds and notes are going lower. They had a little bit of a rally at the end of the week. But overall, the bonds are a straight sale. They rally, sell them. Rally, sell them. And when I say like sell them, right now, if I were going to look to sell them today, they'd have to be like at 138 to 140. Okay, that would be what I'd be looking for in the bigger picture. Crude oil, nice week. Again, it had one of these flushes, and you get these quick actions, and of course we come back and probably go make a new high. Again, this gas tax holiday, all this is all crap. Okay, and it never works. Prices will always be higher when this is done. The natural gas, we're short now, finally, and it's getting hammered pretty good. I mean, it had a big beat down, right before we got short, and now it's still continuing lower. It's not getting. It may go through the sixes now, going to the fives again, after just being at almost 10. Okay, and of course the grain markets. Look, we're short them across the board of grains. They're just waffling. The fact of the matter is they're really in a range. Okay, in a big, wide trading range. They're going a lot higher. Now I'm short, but I'm telling you that they're going a lot higher. The grains, there's going to be a huge demand. We're in that time of year that everybody forgets about it. And they get in these trading ranges. Okay. But you watch. I will say, if I were going to predict $10 corn, $15 wheat, $21, $22 beans. Let's see what happens. But I would not be shocked. There's going to be a shortage. And the cattle and hog markets, we're long cattle, we're short hogs, but I think all three of them have kind of found equilibrium. Okay, feeder cattle about $1.70, fat cattle about $1.35 or 36. I think that's about the equilibrium levels, right? The highs were about 30% higher from where they are now, the all-time highs, and down towards $1. Well, they're right in that like sweet spot that I think more will depend now on the cost of fuel as we go forward. More will be on the input costs. And hogs, I think are just in a range 105 to 115. The all-time high was like 138 on a PED virus a number of years ago. But I think, again, we're pretty strong and pretty high price for this time of year. I think they're just kind of in a big churn. Okay. And in the softs, cotton continues to get clocked. It's under $1. Now, again, I think it'll be a buy again. I mean, you get into these selling, you get margin call, you get all this stuff that goes with it. But anyways, we're short cotton, we're long coffee, which has had a nice up week. We're short sugar, which is down. We're short cocoa, which is down. And we're now short OJ. So again, it's a churn. Now, again, I prefer, looking at the commodities, not so much OJ because it's pretty expensive. But again, I think commodities have a chance to run. And if the equities start to go under pressure again, I think you'll see just that happen. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line. Todd Bubba Horowitz. We're going to step out here for a break, and we'll be back with our commentary right after the break. Bubba's Bottom Line, Sunday, January the 26th. Well, kids, look, I'm not going to go through the entire sponsor list. Just look on the bottom, look on the side, Capital Trading Group. Okay, the best for futures and commodities, letter direction trading. Trade your brokerage. And I got other brokers, so remember, but trade your brokerage. The best value on the street. We can auto trade it for you at no cost in our program, and of course our high school program. So check it out. All right. And then in the meantime, I also did a webinar yesterday with Ninjacators. Okay. And you may want to check it out. If you'd like the recording, just email me at bubba@bubbatrade.com. In the meantime, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line with myself, Todd Bubba Horowitz, right now. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Todd Bubba Horowitz, and here we are. And of course, I always have so much to say, and I always got something to bitch about. Okay, but the frustration levels I have watching what's going on in this country for no reason really makes me kind of scared. It's a scary situation. Now, really, let's face it, I'm old. Okay. I don't know how much time do I have left on this earth? 20 years? Maybe less. Because tomorrow's promised to nobody. But again, I'm certainly not in the beginning of my life. I'm gaining towards the end or in the backstretch, however long it goes from here. But many of you who are much younger, okay, are in for something that is really horrible. Okay, allowing the governments to spend freely. Governments create nothing. They create debt and pain. Okay, they don't create value. They create hatred. They create violence. Just look at what's going on. Okay, now do you want to blame Trump for what's going on now too? Okay, I'm sure you could. You could find a reason to blame Trump, but of course he hasn't been in office for 2 years. All right, but I'm sure that the haters will find a reason to believe him. But look at this AOC. Look at the squad who hates America, that doesn't want anything to be good. Okay, is this the country that you remember? Is this the country you want your children, your grandchildren to grow up in? I would hope not, and I would think not. So hopefully you'll take and think about it, the damage that is being done, because we're getting close to a point where it might be non-recoverable, and I think that's pretty damn scary. But what's not scary is this is Bubba's Bottom Line, and it is Todd Bubba Horowitz. Maybe I'm scary. In the meantime, have a great weekend, everybody. As always, I thank you. We'll see you back here tomorrow with, of course, a Bubba's Day update. And, of course, there's no new trades that are to report. So we will see you back here tomorrow with Bubba's Day update. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you so much. We'll see you later.